name is Dan Kagagi from Kenya, of course one of the long-haul destinations that is under threat. I have 2 points which I want to address to the panelists. The first point, if I can just come back to this issue, is the issue of design of hotels. I felt that the issue wasn't really properly addressed by the panelists. Let me be specific on what I mean. If you look at a destination like Kenya, yes, we have examples, like has been mentioned by one of the panelists, that there are those hotels that are quite well designed and they're using a lot of natural air conditioning. But we have a huge portfolio of hotels built in the 60s, 70s, 80s, which obviously saying to people that we can't retrofit or build new hotels is not really the answer. When we talk about leadership, I think one of the things that we would like to see from, say, Mr. Aidi's association is leadership to the hotel industry as to what can we do to improve the design or to improve the energy efficiency of existing hotels. We can't bring them down, we can't tear them down, but what do we do to improve them? We've only talked about towels and removing the air conditioning, but what about in the actual design? Could we change components of the old hotels, whether, for example, it is the windows that are being used, or whether it is in the roofing, for example, changing the roofing design so that we can actually improve the energy efficiency of these hotels, is probably something I'd probably like to hear. And when we talk about leadership, we also have national associations in the hotel industry. And I think the kind of leadership we're talking about is where associations like yours now meet with architects, train them in new designs, get these architects to then come down to cascade down to local level, and workshops are held with the industry players, so that then you have an industry-wide acceptance of new design. Because again, part of the problem is many of the architects are not aware of some of the high-tech designs that are easy to implement.
Okay.
The second point I want to make is to do with the offsetting. Now, one of the issues that we've not discussed so far is where does the money actually go when we actually offset our emissions? And I'll use this conference as an example. When I did my greenhouse calculation based on the website, I was given a figure of $118. There was only a very brief mention of where the money was going. I have no clue as to how that money is going to be used in the projects that are described in those in the website. Mm-hmm. Why is it that I cannot also, as a consumer who wants to pay, also determine where my money wants to go? And then secondly, how am I going to actually monitor how that money is going to be used? I think these are issues that we also need to address.
We cannot, nobody can oblige an investor who wants to build a hotel to tell him how he should do it. Nobody. Not an association of a country, not a government. An investor who wants to build a hotel, if he did not have himself an awareness about what he wants to do, nobody can oblige him. You have an association, it's fine. The association cannot oblige someone to build as they wish. The government either. He should have himself an awareness about what he wants to do. That's all.
Philippe.
Offsetting programs have to be supported. They are not a miracle solution. They are one element in a global approach. Many more airlines are now interested, and I think it will work at the end. The market is growing, not because of individual consumers, but because of companies that are more or less imposing this to their staff. Now, the critical point, and I mentioned it already, is first, how do you calculate your carbon footprint? And ICAO, the International Civil Aviation Organization, is working on a calculator to be offered to all those airlines and other people, NGO, promoting these programs. And the second element, what are the projects that are financed through these offsetting programs? That's a critical point, and that's where we have to be extremely careful to make sure that these projects, clean projects that are financed through offsetting programs, are credible. And again, that's probably where an organization like the UN WTO can play a very important role.
Okay, no, I mean, if you don't mind, I'm just going to move it along a little bit because
for the Kenya question, this is also related to the hotel. I think in the national association in case of Indonesia, also the government of Indonesia, we give, of course, we don't interfere in terms of investment, also design. This is depend on the investor. Okay. But some of hotelier, we give the recognize if they really comply with some regulation. That's one case. And also our policies for the recycling purposes in water, also in the waste, we give some short incentive for them. And then this is, I think, also how do we deal with the national association with the hotel, especially in the destination, major destination in Indonesia.